Alex's journey to the COSTAR prompts framework.
On a vibrant tennis court, Alex, a curious student, met his professor, Paul, who is known for his humor. While chatting, they started an in-depth conversation about how to use the COSTAR framework to guide large language models, LLM, to generate relevant and desired responses.
Alex first asked, "What is the role of context when guiding LLM?" Paul answered, "Context is like the location of the court in a tennis match. It provides the model with the context in which it needs to operate.
Setting the context correctly can help the model better understand the request, like choosing whether to play on hard court or grass.
It affects your strategy the same way." What does objective mean? Alex asked.
A goal is a specific task you want the model to accomplish, Paul explains, like a goal to win in a competition. Being clear about your goal, whether it's generating an article, answering a question, or creating a summary, will guide the model in that direction.
Work hard in the right direction. If I want the model to answer in a more formal or informal style, how should I instruct it? Alex asked curiously.
It comes down to style, Paul replied. You can specify that the model uses an academic, professional, or casual style. It's like choosing whether to hit the ball hard or hit the ball lightly in the game. Style determines the form of the response.
What about tone? Alex continued to ask.
Tone is about the attitude you want the model to have when conveying information, Paul explains, just like the attitude you would have towards your opponent on the field. You can ask the model to respond in a positive, friendly, or serious tone to match the audience's mood.
Expect. So, where is the consideration of audience? Alex asked. Knowing your audience is like knowing your opponent, Paul said.
You need to adjust the style and tone of your response based on the characteristics of your audience, just as you would adjust your tactics based on the opponent's style of play.
What does the laster mean, response? Alex asked curiously.
The response is the specific answer the model gives, Paul explains. You need to explicitly tell the model the type of response you expect, just like in a game you need to decide whether to serve a smooth ball or a ball with spin. Through this conversation on the tennis court, Alex gained a deep understanding of how to use the COSTAR framework to precisely guide large language models to produce the desired responses. Just like strategy selection in a tennis match, clearly defining each element enables him to interact effectively with the language model, resulting in more precise and targeted output. For example, Professor Paul said, if we want the model to help us write an article about tennis skills, we need to first set a specific context, C, and a clear goal, O. For example, context it can be tennis training for beginners, and the goal is to provide an introduction to basic skills and practical training suggestions to help novices quickly improve their skills. He then went on to explain, then we need to determine the styles of the article. For example, we want the article to be presented in a professional and detailed style, similar to articles in professional sports magazines. As for tone, T, Paul added, we might ask models to write in a positive and encouraging tone so that readers feel that learning these skills is fun and achievable. This can enhance the connection between the article and the reader. Given audience, A, he said, our target readers are likely to be amateur tennis enthusiasts, so we need to ensure that the terminology used is both familiar and understandable to this group, and avoid overly technical terms that may confuse beginners or confused. In the end, our desired response, R, will be a well-written article detailing how to improve your tennis forehand technique, Paul concluded with this example. Through this practical application example, Alex gained a deeper understanding of how to use the COSTAR framework to precisely guide large language models to generate the required responses. This not only improved his understanding of tennis skills, but also taught him how to interact with language models more effectively to obtain highly relevant and desired output.